Hello and welcome back to the Wrexham Way. Hope you're all doing well and looking forward to today's episode, which could be the penultimate episode of this season. There's not long left to go. We are still in a very tight title fight. And hopefully today, we're also going to have our youth intake. So if you're excited for all of that, make sure you drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're around here and leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm telling me how on earth Fernando Torres is the manager of Rotherham. I mean, what a career. He went straight into the under-19s assistant manager role at Atletico Madrid, and somehow he's gone from there to Rotherham. Anyway, he's not done a great job because they've only won 7 games this season and they are sitting near the bottom of the table, so this should be a routine win. Anyway, let's talk about transfers because a few more have happened in between episodes, and I'll be honest, I can't believe I missed a transfer out yesterday, a player that left. I only got reminded of it when I got like the transfer window review coming through, and if you look here on the screen, not only did we sell Chris Johns obviously, but right at the start of January, James Jones has gone to Livingston for 1.5 million, as you can see there. He was never going to play for us this season, and Livingston came in with some big bids, and he's gone there for 1.5 million, which is fantastic for us. I think the deal was agreed like in between, not last episode, the episode before maybe, I can't quite remember either way. And then obviously I started the transfer window off on like Thursday last week, recorded yesterday's episode on Monday, so I completely forgot about it. But James Jones did leave the club, and as you can see, another player at the top of this list did leave the club too. Apo Holm has gone to Birmingham for £650,000. His contract was coming to an expiry at the end of this season. I was going to let him go. He's only played 2 games for us this season, so it made sense to try and cash in on a little bit of money right now whilst we could, rather than let him go on a free at the end of the season. So Apo, thank you very much for your service. You were very good and an integral part of keeping us in the Championship, but this season, as we're flying, you're flying away from the nest because you're not very good. And that takes us neatly into the results from in between episodes, which have actually improved massively. January is just always a pretty poor month, whatever save you're doing. I don't quite always know why, but January is always a bit of a poor month. Either way, we turned things around in February. You were last here for the 4-1 loss to Fulham, which was obviously not ideal. But since then, a 3-0 win against Peterborough. 0-0 against Burnley was a good result, but a 5-2 thrashing of Nottingham Forest was the pick of the game from in between episodes. Bradley Fink scoring in that game. He actually scored quite a few goals in between episodes too, so he's been a pretty decent pickup so far. We managed to beat MK Dons 2-1 with a late goal from Ethan Galbraith before the only goal against Swansea was scored by Roxfarg, and he ensured the 3 points there. Watford, an early goal was nullified by an early goal from Watford, and then it was very boring for the rest of that game, a 1-1 draw there, before Lorenzo Pizarro scored in the 94th minute of 92 minutes of added time, or no, 2 minutes of added time to make it 92, but he scored in the 4th minute of it, which is very frustrating if you're a Norwich fan. But Pizarro getting a goal there, all important to give us 3 points. And that 3 points was very important because if we look at the Championship table, as you can see, we are currently top on goal difference, but only just Bournemouth level on points with us and only 5 goals behind us in terms of goal difference. They are on a run at the moment. West Brom, out of nowhere, have got themselves in this title fight. They're only 3 points behind us, and as are Fulham, all of us on 37 games played this season. It's going to be insanely tight come the end of the season, and any one of these 4 teams deserves to be promoted, in my opinion. The question is, should we be promoted? Are we ready? Financially, no. Financially, we are not there to be promoted. £8 million in the bank account. Do we have any debts or anything like that? £3.5 million of transfer debt. So, I mean, basically call that £4.5 million, basically, is what we've got if we're going to get rid of all that transfer debt. And projection-wise is not ideal either. Obviously, promotion to the Premier League would change everything massively, but for one season, I can't really see us staying up there. And if we have a quick look at sponsorship income, for example, I mean, West Brom 16 million, Fulham 14 million, Bournemouth 12 million. We're on 1.7 million, not quite bottom, but we're very close to being bottom of the division, so it's not ideal. And of course, our club's facilities, they are great. And I don't think these facilities are actually that bad. I think they do pretty well in the Premier League. They should be good enough, if I'm honest with you. I do doubt the stadium, though. I do doubt the stadium a bit. I mean, at this stage, it's well over 150 years old. And yes, of course, all the stands aren't over 150 years old. But it's an old stadium. I think that end of it is still terraced. And I don't think, actually, if we look at facilities, Yeah, we are limited to 13,900 capacity in normal games, 10,500 seated. Really, we need a new stadium, but we don't have the money for a new stadium. We don't really have the money to improve facilities, which is probably what we should be doing as well. Now, I'm going to ask it at the end of the season, but there's no harm in asking right now to build a new stadium, is there? There's no harm in asking right now. I think they'll say no, but we do have a week or so until the Rotherham game because I'm not entirely sure when the youth intake is going to come through. So this will take us through to the Rotherham game. Hopefully we'll get a bit of news from the board at some point about a new stadium. If they say no to that, I think what I might do is ask for facilities. Because even if we manage to sign players over summer, I still don't think they'll be good enough to keep us in the Premier League next season if we go up. So I'd rather invest the money now into facilities, I think. That's my thinking. And then if we do get relegated, we'll have a ton of parachute payments to buy players back in the Championship again. And our reputation will be enhanced at that point. Even though we'll get a reputation boost if we get promoted this season, I don't think good enough players will still want to join us. A season in the Premier League and even relegation back down will do more for our reputation, I think, and ability to sign players than just going up, I think. And here we go. The stadium has been rejected as we thought. Let's leave it for now. Let's leave that for now. I don't want to encourage them to build a stadium just yet when maybe they've got big plans at the end of the season if we get promoted. What I will do, though, is make a board request, improve youth level. Let's try that. And then make a board request, improve training facilities. But I think those requests will come through after the Rotherham game. Oh, the youth facilities have been accepted. Okay, straight away, they're going to move us up a youth level, which is really handy. It's going to cost us £4 million, and yes, that is straight out of our budget. So again, budget going down. It's fine, though, because it means no tax, basically. Then we should be on to make a loss this season, so that should mean no tax being paid. But then, of course, we'll get a ton of payments at the end of the season for sponsorship and prize money and stuff like that coming through, TV money. So we should be up to quite a nice amount of money at the end. They've rejected the training facilities. I'm going to ask them, do it again, please. We need to boost our reputation, if we're honest with ourselves here, and they actually say yes straight away. Okay, well, brilliant. So facilities also being done, training facilities this is, 3.65 million, 3.7 basically. That takes us down to £1 million. Okay, so it's all going well. You guys might disagree with me, but I don't think we're going to be able to sign players that are going to be much better than what we've got right now. But at the same time, we've got a lot of young players in the team. I'd rather keep them playing to develop them. Anyway, I think we're going to stick with the team that's been doing pretty well in recent weeks. We've got Andriucci in goal, back from not winning the Under-20s Copa America with Argentina. I think Peru won it in the end, so we might have to do some scouting in Peru at some point. But Timon, Camboila, Thomas Parry and Dylan are in the backline today because Paul is currently out suspended for this game. Galbraith and Webster are playing very well in the middle of the park right now. A nice partnership forming with these two. Roxvarg and Fink start up front because where is he? Escobar only just coming back from his injury, not quite up to standard yet. Rebergen on the right and Pizarro on the left, although he's just come back from a knock himself. I don't think it'll be much of an issue, but we are still struggling to get performances out of both Jacobson and Pizarro. I think on paper Pizarro's better, which is why I'm kind of more inclined to play him, but both of them, I don't know, just not performing to the levels that I want them to. Anyway, we're taking on a Rotherham side, managed of course by Fernando Torres, who are sitting well down the table. If I can make the table bigger, down to 24th. There we go, that's much better. You can see the whole table now. You can see that Rotherham in that relegation zone right now, quite far away from safety. It does seem like Rotherham, MK Dons and Huddersfield are destined to go down with not too many games left to go this season. And so far in the match stats, 4 shots to 1, we are dominating proceedings as it stands right now, with Timon delivering a long ball into the middle, which is punched away by the keeper, but only as far as Pizarro, who turns, passes to Galbraith, who puts it just over the bar. The 3rd chance of the game coming to us, but sadly not going in the back of the net. Also, I just realised I've got a big bone to pick with Rotherham. Lincoln City in real life are meant to be playing tonight against Rotherham, away at Rotherham. They've postponed the pitch, or they've postponed the match because of a frozen pitch, despite the temperature in Rotherham right now being 8 degrees centigrade. That does not sound like frozen to me. Okay, hang on. Webster scores, and it's got me at a point where I was about to say something that I decided not to say. But now I've said that, it sounds like I'm going to say something really bad. It is bad. It's not bad. It's It's nothing that... Basically, I've had to dig a goal. We scored a goal. Look, I'm nervous now. I've said that. Look, I'm flustered. All I'm saying is it's colder in Lincoln today, and I've had to dig a hole in the garden because a pet's not very well. And I'm laughing because it's not happened yet. I'm going to be in tears later on. Either way, that's... I know the ground's not frozen. I know Lincoln's different to Rotherham, but still, that's not an excuse to call off a game which Lincoln were going to win tonight. Either way, we're coming forward on the ball. Let's just forget I spoke about anything. As Bradley Fink scores, is he not offside there? I think he might have been offside in the process, and that shows an injury to a Rotherham player as well. Probably deserves it. The goal has been disallowed. At least he's definitely offside. Yeah, the goal has been disallowed. Okay, that's all right. Anyway, back on track. Rebergen corner, Thomas Parry header, saved by the keeper, interestingly. But we are still winning this game, which is good right now. Most players are playing pretty well, actually. No one's on a particularly bad rating. Josh Timon on 6.7 right now. Maybe he'd come off, but Fink through once again. He's been really solid, actually. I was a little bit hesitant when he signed for the club. I knew he'd be the best out-and-out striker at the club. He offers something different to the other strikers that we had, but I just wasn't convinced that he'd be as good or the best player for the job. But actually, I think he's scored like 4 or 5 goals since he signed for the club, which is a good return so far in the Championship, I must say. Like, he's proven himself at a decent level. And if we don't go up, he'll be a great striker for us next season as well. So there's potential in this signing. I'm pretty happy that he's at the club right now. We will make some changes. I meant to make them a few minutes ago, but I completely forgot. Lost my train of thought. Corey Alton's going to come on. Jacobson is going to come on. Those 2 changes, I think, for the final 10 minutes of the game. See if they can just give us an extra goal or 2. Goal difference is going to be really, really crucial for us at the end of this season, I think, as Bournemouth are really racking up some goals scored as well. So we need to be not conceding right now. Oh, is it an own goal? Cambuala own goal against relegation-threatened Rotherham. This is for me slacking off, isn't it? I've jinxed it by having a go at them. This is... Oh, it's so annoying that it's had to be an own goal like that. I mean, it's one of those things, right? It's either Cambuala own goal or a goal for Rotherham's player, because Andriucci was not going to get there. So it was one of those things, unfortunately. Encourage the team, demand more. Come on, let's go. Also, Bournemouth are winning. They're going to go top of the table as it stands. Fulham and West Brom also winning, so they only go 1 point behind us. Advantage Bournemouth then. Advantage Bournemouth. Like, if we don't go up, it's not the end of the world, right? But given that we have been in the top 2 places for a vast majority of this season, if we have a look at the table and look at past positions, if we go to past positions, Wrexham, we have been in the top 2 since game week 14 onwards, apart from 1 game week. And actually, yeah. Oh, no. Basically, it's better to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 game weeks. 8 game weeks out of 39. Or 38. 30 game weeks, we've been in the top 2. Would it be a bottling if we drop out now? Yeah, I think so. Let's just rest the first team as well. Training, rest 1 day for this next game. Looks like Rebergen is suspended for the game against Middlesbrough. That is obviously not ideal. But at least we can feel more happy about the youth intake that has arrived. And wow. Neil Long. 2.5 stars of current ability, 5-star potential. Striker / winger. 16 years old. I tell you what. This guy's the real deal. 16 years old, 14 dribbling, 11 finishing, 11 first touch, 15 technique, 13 work rate, team works high. Fickle personality, that's the most annoying part. Fickle personality, will tutor it out of him. League 1 current ability, plays with both feet. Neil Long. Is he... I don't know what I looked at history, there's no history there. Is he going to be the first wonder kid we've developed? If we can get rid of dives into tackles as well, that would be quite nice. Aggression is quite low though, so that should be fairly simple to tutor out of him. But Neil Long, looks like a player. As a false 9, supposedly. Guess which system we like to play? A false 9. Neil Long. Big up. Sion Jones looked crap in comparison, doesn't he? He's actually very good potential of 4.5 stars, but I mean, Get out of here. You're no Neil Long. And then a couple of 4-star players as well. Another keeper in Jack Clark, who, again, unambitious personality. Who I'm a bit surprised by the personalities of our young players. We've had no one come through that's been like, have an amazing personality. Like model citizen. They've all been pretty fickle or unambitious. But those guys look pretty good. But Neil Long, the start. Andre's done good there. Andre's done really good. So that gives us a few more options next season as well, potentially. That would be quite exciting. For the Middlesbrough game, the only change I want to make is Rebergen off for Nelson Lorca, who plays a winger on attack. We'll leave Pizarro, and everyone else can still play as they are, I reckon. Rebergen obviously comes off then for Paul. Let's bring Paul back on the pitch as well, actually. That's a good idea too. And do we want to start Escobar? No, we'll bring him on as a sub. We'll bring Escobar on as a sub, I reckon. We'll leave Fink on for now, and substitute's a good option. Okay, so kickoff is upon us here today, and immediately we've nearly scored a goal. Oh, you hate to see it. Just a last-ditch clearance there from Middlesbrough to stop us getting the rebound, but a good free kick to start things off. Obviously, Josh Tymon has got quite a few assists this season from set pieces. Another one from him right now. Thomas Parry's header put over the bar, but a good start to the game. Like, if we can just keep this sort of pressure up, some good set-piece deliveries. We've got a very tall team. In fact, I think on average, it is the tallest team in the Championship. I did look at some comparison stats, and I think we are pretty much the tallest team in the Championship on average, which is great to see, as Tymon puts a long throw into the middle. This time, headed by Lorca, just wide of the post. Surely, one of his chances is going to end up in the back of the net soon, or it's going to be one of those situations where we have so many chances, miss them all, Middlesbrough score 1 goal to win the game. But not like that. Nelson Lorca coming into the team gets the goal to take us 1-0 up away from home against Middlesbrough. A fantastic finish there from him. Deserved his goal, I must say. And he's been very unlucky not to play more football this season. Because, of course, Rebergen has just been absolutely outstanding. But any other season, Lorca would be probably a first choice for us. So when he gets his chances, it's good to see that he does take them with wide open arms. And fingers crossed he can just carry on scoring plenty of goals. Anyway, as we approach half-time, we do go back on top of the table. Why is that? We need to find out what's going on in the Bournemouth game. I believe they must be drawing right now. We were 2 points behind, so they must be drawing. We're winning. That's good for us. So if things can just stay as it is, we're going to be in with a shout against Bournemouth. But obviously, Fulham and West Brom, we need to check out what they're doing as well. Middlesbrough, they clear the ball all the way up to Willy Cambuala, down to Thomas Parry, into Galbraith, who can bring it into the Middlesbrough half now, as he was unchallenged until he just ran straight into a Middlesbrough player. And now Kavanagh is through and scores, I tell you what, a very good goal. It's really annoying, that. And with that, we drop down to 3rd place at half-time as things stand. So Bournemouth are drawing, West Brom are winning, we're drawing, dropping down to 3rd place, and Fulham, by the looks of things, are either not playing or losing. I can't see what their game number is on. I think they might be a later kickoff, actually, if I remember correctly, as that was a poor header from Middlesbrough's attack there. Not quite sure what they were doing with it. It's Andreucci then on the ball. Right, let's build out from the back. And who was coming quite deep there? Webster coming really deep there for the distribution from the keeper. Fair enough. I mean, yes, he's a box-to-boxer, but you'd expect him to be a little bit higher up than the defence. At least I would, I suppose. In the meantime, Middlesbrough got our man sent off, haven't they? We've seen this a couple of times. Just pure madness from strikers, where they just decide they're going to 2-foot someone in the middle of the pitch, no pressure. Beyond me. It could have actually been in the stream save we've been doing with Anderlecht. That could have happened as well. It might have happened in both. I don't know. But if you want to watch the stream stuff, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesdays at 11 a.m, not 9 a.m. That's too early. 11 a.m. UK time. Get along. They're good fun. In the meantime, this has not been... I mean, we are dominating proceedings. Look at that. Absolutely dominating. Fink's played terribly. Let's get him off for Escobar whilst we still have the chance to be a pressing forward on attack. Galbraith off for Hikaru. And again, Pizarro playing poorly. Jacobson on you come. We just can't get performance out of either left winger for whatever reason. I don't understand why. Because everyone else plays well. It's just that sort of left wing. Just constantly a 6'8", 6'7" rating. It's not ideal. As Jacobson gets past one man. Out wide to the goal scorer Lorca. If we get a goal here, this would be incredible. As Jacobson is proving me wrong. It's actually his 8th goal of the season. How has he got... Oh, it's offside. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's marginally offside. Marginally offside. Encourage the team. No. No. Thank goodness it wasn't like that. Otherwise, that would have been a terrible way to lose the game. 3 minutes of added time. Timon is surely going to find Jacobson. No, he goes to Camboila instead. He goes back to Andreucci. Right, out wide this way. All to Jacobson. Nicely taken down. He's now through. Jacobson, don't let me down. At least it's a corner. I thought he had skied, but everyone's gathering for a corner now. I was about to go mental, but he hadn't scored that somehow and just blazed it over the bar. But Timon's corner, one of the final chances of the game for us, I must say. We've had the chances in both of these games to win, as Reading have just pulled level against West Brom, by the way. We go back ahead of West Brom. They're drawing. We, unfortunately, draw, though. And if we want to win the league title this season, we can't be drawing games, can we? Annoyingly, Bournemouth have clawed back a win as well. 2 goals in the second half against QPR. They've won. 4 points clear of us. Still a long way to go. Still a long way, as we just paid £200,000 to Midtjylland for Jacobson. So, I mean, that's not helped out the finances. So, I think next episode, we're back for the final 2 games of the season. Blackburn... And you can already guarantee it, can't you? We're playing 24th in the table Huddersfield, who have been abysmal all season. They're on 20 points. They're basically already relegated right now. In fact, are they relegated? Because they could well be. They're not far off. They're 13 points from safety. They're not far off being relegated. So what I'm saying is the jinx is going to come in there. I bet we're going to be... Next episode will be second, won't we? And all we have to do is get a point against Huddersfield. And we'll lose, won't we? Headline written already. Headline written already. I know it. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. And of course, if you have done, make sure you do drop a like on the video for me. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And leave a comment down below for the YouTube algorithm. Until next time, have a lovely day. And I will speak to you tomorrow. Have a good one. Goodbye.